Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Brazil for the 17th BRICS Leaders Summit and state visit on the fourth leg of his five-nation tour of the Global South. Hopes for a productive round of meetings and interactions during this visit. Prime Minister Modi held talks with President Javier Milei in Argentina. Highlights India's strength in healthcare and pharmaceuticals, focus on boosting trade and cooperation in energy and critical minerals. Frantic search for missing underway following flash floods in central Texas. Around 43 people, including 15 children, confirmed dead. Weathermen forecast more rain and potentially more flooding. India's Prime Minister expresses condolences. Israel will send negotiators to Qatar on Sunday for Gaza hostage and ceasefire deal. Benjamin Netanyahu agrees despite unacceptable Hamas demands to meet Donald Trump in Washington on Monday. And Elon Musk launches new political party, vows to restore freedom and challenge Trump's Republican Party in the 2026 midterm elections. And in Wimbledon, Novak Djokovic records his 100th win, remaining on course for a record 25th Grand Slam title, while in women's singles, defending champion Barbora Krejcikova knocked out by American 10 seed Emma Navarro. Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil to attend the 17th BRICS Summit. On the fourth leg of his five-nation visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed at Galeão International Airport, marking the beginning of a four-day visit. The visit came at the invitation of the Brazilian President, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. This is Prime Minister Modi's fourth visit to Brazil. Apart from participating in the BRICS Summit in Rio de Janeiro, he will also undertake a visit to the capital, Brasilia. Prime Minister Modi wrote on social media platform X, and I quote him, "Landed in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where I will participate in the BRICS summit and then head to its capital, Brasilia, for the state visit at the invitation of President Lula. Looking forward to a productive round of meetings and interactions during this visit." There, he will hold bilateral discussions with President Lula to expand the strategic partnership between India and Brazil across several key sectors, including trade, defense, energy, space, technology, agriculture, health, and people-to-people ties. On the sidelines of the BRICS summit, the Prime Minister is also expected to hold bilateral meetings with various global leaders. Upon his arrival at the hotel in Rio de Janeiro, members of Brazil's Indian community gave a very vibrant welcome to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. A group performed Om Gan Ganpate mantra in the honor of Prime Minister Modi. It is amazing how they remain connected with Indian culture and are also very passionate about India's development. People of the Indian diaspora also performed a cultural dance based on the theme of Operation Sindoor as they welcomed Prime Minister Modi. He appreciated the heartfelt performance. DD India explored something very interesting in the heart of Brazil. Thousands of miles away from India, young Brazilians are learning ancient Indian mantras, sacred chants passed down for centuries in devotion to Indian gods and goddesses. Guided by Indian gurus and music instructors at the Swami Vivekananda Center for Indian Culture, established by ICCR, these students are not just singing, they are embracing a tradition of devotion, discipline and divine connection.
Number of youngsters in Brazil are embracing Indian spirituality, Indian music, Indian mantras and more. And we're joined in by such a group which has been learning this at the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center in São Paulo. And we'll talk to them to understand what they're learning. You know, it's been 4-5 years or more than that for a few of you who have been learning these Indian music, mantras and more. What do you have to say about it? What's your inclination?
We are singing mantra about, I think, 3 years and doing this devotional music. And we are very glad to be here to have this opportunity to meet with Narendra Modi. And I hope our frequencies go to the world with a lot of peace and love. And we're very happy to connect those cultures like India and Brazil. And we have India in our hearts. Everyone. And now it's like see a dream coming true because we sing mantras, it's like an instrument for us, but now we are like living this.
Indian culture has completely transformed my life for the last 10 years and I'm deeply passionate and devotionally touched by this culture. So like he said, we've never been in this life in India yet, but India is inside of us and we are feeling deeply honored by this opportunity by the director, Dr. Jyoti. Really, it's an honor to be here sharing this bhakti, this devotional that pulses through us. So yes, this comes from the straight of our hearts to all of the hearts and it spreads musically, beautifully honoring this sacred ancient culture that is India. And yeah, it's amazing. It's a pleasure to be here. We're very honored. We send blessings to you all. Really love, 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 love.
Would like to sing for us the devotional mantras that you have learned over the years, anything that's your favorite and you would like to sing for our audience in India?
Jaya Jagadambe Jai Ma, Jaya Jagadambe Ma Durga, Jaya Jagadambe Jai Ma, Jaya Jagadambe Ma Durga, Jaya Jagadambe Jai Ma, Jaya Jagadambe Ma Durga, Ma Durga, Ma Durga, Ma Durga, Ma Durga. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Jai Ma.
How beautifully these people are learning what Indian culture, Indian music, art forms, devotion and spirituality is. Definitely something that transcends boundaries, and this is what we call living bridges between two countries, India and Brazil. With camera person Piyush Verma, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
The world's eyes are on Rio de Janeiro as the 17th BRICS summit is all set to begin later today. With the grouping expanding to 10 full members and crucial discussions on global governance, climate and development on the agenda, the stage is all set for high-stakes diplomacy. Our correspondent Meghna Dev brings us this report from Rio de Janeiro.
The 17th BRICS summit officially kicks off in Rio on July 6th. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Rio de Janeiro to attend the summit, marking India's strong commitment to the BRICS agenda. The summit is especially significant as India takes over the BRICS chair next year. This year, BRICS has expanded to 10 full member countries with 12 partner nations, 8 invited countries and 7 leaders of regional and multilateral organizations. The theme for this year's summit is strengthening global South cooperation for inclusive and sustainable governance. Day 1 features high-stakes sessions beginning with a discussion on global governance reforms limited to full members only.
The program on the 6th includes with the first agenda item is the reform of the global governance. And thereafter, there is the second item on the agenda, the peace and security, which is in the working lunch format.
On the 7th of July, the item of the agenda is environment, COP30 and global health. 4 major deliverables are expected to emerge from this summit. The first being the leaders' declaration, second, statement on global governance and artificial intelligence, framework on climate finance, and BRICS partnership to eliminate socially determined diseases. Brazil's BRICS priorities aligns very closely to India's priorities for the BRICS, especially in terms of bringing to the fore the concerns of the global south. Intense discussions have been going on the Sherpa and Sous-Sherpa level to build a consensus to pave way for a consensus on the BRICS outcome. And when we actually see that the world shifts focus to this summit, the consensus and the outcome will be able to pave way for a new global cooperation amongst the BRICS nations. With camera person Piyush Verma, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
An important business gathering is taking shape under the BRICS umbrella with a high-profile Indian business delegation in Brazil. From agribusiness to gems and jewelry to startups, the Indian delegation is scouting key sectors ripe for collaboration. DD India speaks to the delegation in Rio de Janeiro about their expectations from the summit and the bilaterals between India and Brazil.
Joined in by all business people from India. Ma'am, thank you so much for talking to us, and we already have a delegation. What are the expectations? What are we talking about? What is the brainstorming that's going on?
It's really heartening to see that for the Brazilian business delegation and who we've been interacting with, and of course the government officials here are really interested in promoting Brazilian startups. So I think there's a great synergy between Indian startups, Indian investors, legacy companies here, and investors and the governments wanting to work on innovation, startups and growing the whole startup ecosystem.
We're also, obviously, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be holding a bilateral with President Lula. What are the expectations of the Indian businessmen that you are expecting that will be one of the outcomes from the meeting?
We see a lot of opportunity because I see some diverse angles also here. Here the natural resources are in plenty. There is a scope for innovation is very high. What attracted me here is how do they use the biofuels? Yeah, they are the leaders in that.
Tariff is 100% there. That once it is reduced, certainly there is a lot of scope between two countries and both will be winner. Only is that CBO, complete build-up unit, should be allowed to basically export here at a slightly cheaper rate.
Economically speaking, what are the expectations from the BRICS?
BRICS is doing a great job by getting people united out here and making people understand what are the opportunities in India, Brazil, what bilateral trade we guys can do together.
We want the primacy of the Indian business. His visit will spur that and will actually give a big fillip and encouragement to all of us to do more.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to come here. There is going to be a lot of eyeballs that will be tuned to get to know what will be happening, what kind of discussions will be happening on the economic front. With camera person Piyush Verma, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
As the BRICS summit in Rio approaches, India's role is under the spotlight, from counter-terrorism to trade. With India playing a pivotal role in BRICS and bilateral ties with Brazil gaining steady momentum, DD India exclusively speaks to Ambassador Dinesh Bhatia, India's ambassador to Brazil, to discuss New Delhi's key priorities, the state of India-Brazil relations, and also what's at stake at this year's BRICS summit.
We are joined in by Ambassador Dinesh Bhatia, who is the ambassador of India to Brazil. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to DD India. Sir, we would want to first ask you about the BRICS summit. What are India's priorities in this summit, and what can be expected that India is going to push for in this summit?
As far as BRICS summit is concerned, Prime Minister has participated in all the summits, and our basic agenda since the inception of BRICS has been global governance reform, and we will continue with the same agenda in this summit. Brazil is of course the partner in Global South. It's a strategic partner of India, and we have a common agenda of global governance reforms.
India has put its very strong stance on counterterrorism. And after the Pahalgam attack, how do you think India is going to push even stronger this time, or probably make a stronger consensus amidst the member states?
Counterterrorism is one of our core agenda. As far as BRICS is concerned, they will talk about it in some form, which I'm not privy to at this point of time. But on bilateral front, I can tell you that between India and Brazil, Brazil has supported us on this issue. And in this visit, we are trying to conclude an MOU on counterterrorism, which will be another step forward between the two strategic partners.
So, obviously, we'll shift focus to the bilateral that is going to happen between India and Brazil. How do you think, where's the trajectory of the relationship between both the leaders, Prime Minister Modi and President Lula, considering this is Prime Minister Modi's 4th visit this time?
Brazil and India have always been close countries. They have been part of Global South. And since 2006, our bilateral relations were elevated to strategic partnership. And of course, there have been several exchange of visits. Prime Minister Modi's first visit out of Indian subcontinent was to Brazil in July of 2014. That shows the closeness of importance of the closeness of relationship between India and Brazil. And the agenda in the meanwhile has amplified so much. It has deepened and broadened between the two countries. From political relationship, where we are close partners in various fora, we are talking about trade and investment. The trade between the two countries has gone up to more than $12 billion, with a slight trade surplus in favor of India. Then we are also talking about from agricultural research to scientific research to digital partnership, which is a very important agenda currently between India and Brazil.
Thank you so much, Ambassador, for speaking to us. So here, as global attention shifts to Brazil with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the BRICS summit, as well as for this landmark bilateral that is going to happen between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Lula, we'll bring to you all the important updates, insights and exclusives from Brazil only for DD India.
Heightened security arrangements have been made in Rio de Janeiro ahead of the BRICS summit. Let's take a look at this report by our correspondent Meghna Dev.
Massive security preparations ahead of the BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro. The city has mobilized one of its largest security forces. We can say that one of the largest deployment that can be seen across the city of military and police personnel. Now, this is also to guard the summit venue, the key transit routes, as well as diplomatic delegations. Weeks ago, there had been a coordinated exercise of the forces in Rio de Janeiro to ensure that there is coordinated response and as well as protocols that can be coordinated properly about the security arrangements that have to take place during the summit. Besides that, this is not the first time that the city is seeing such heightened security. It has also happened, such a large-scale exercise has also happened during the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro. What we also see is that security has been beefed up at important locations across the city, on the streets, at the Ipanema beach. We also see heightened security at the Copacabana beach and other important places. 24/7 surveillance can clearly be seen, as well as there has been such security deployment to ensure that there is quick response to any untoward incident. With camera person Piyush Verma, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Let's talk about Prime Minister's visit to Argentina. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's historic visit to Argentina focused on strengthening bilateral ties across trade, defense, energy and healthcare. The Prime Minister was accorded ceremonial reception upon his arrival by President Javier Milei. Both the leaders then met for the delegation-level talks, discussing ways to enhance cooperation and open new opportunities for both the nations. This visit marks a significant milestone in deepening the partnership between India and Argentina. Patriotism and determination for people of Argentina. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Argentina marks a historic chapter in India's outreach to Latin America. As part of his visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid homage to General José de San Martin in Buenos Aires. His courage and leadership played a pivotal role in Argentina's history, and his life remains a symbol of patriotism and determination for people of Argentina. Prime Minister Modi was warmly received by President Javier Milei at the Casa Rosada, the presidential palace. In a moment of camaraderie, the two leaders shared a hug, symbolizing the warmth between the two nations. Prime Minister Modi and President Milei held delegation-level talks in Buenos Aires, where they reviewed the full spectrum of India-Argentina relations. Both the leaders agreed to expand cooperation across key sectors including trade and commerce, technology, defense, space, health and pharmaceuticals, aiming to further deepen the strategic partnership between the two countries. Prime Minister Modi urged Argentina to support the expansion of India-Mercosur Trade Pact to unlock mutual benefits.
The two leaders discussed the necessity of diversifying and expanding bilateral trade. The Prime Minister requested Argentina's support in expanding the India-Mercosur preferential trade agreement, noting that such an expansion can bring mutual benefits for both sides and open up new opportunities. Both leaders also expressed interest in enhancing collaboration in the defense sector, where they felt that they can leverage their respective experiences and capabilities to increase cooperation and contribute to mutual strategic interests.
Both leaders expressed interest in boosting defense cooperation by leveraging their respective strengths to advance mutual strategic interests. Both the leaders emphasized on the importance of agriculture and called for early convening of the joint working group to advance cooperation. Prime Minister Modi urged regulatory upgrades to ease Indian farmer entry into Argentina, highlighting benefits of affordable, life-saving medicines for the Argentine people.
The Prime Minister highlighted India's strength in the healthcare and pharmaceutical sectors, particularly the capacity to produce high-quality, affordable medicines. He discussed the possibility of India being moved from Annex 2 to Annex 1 of Argentina's pharmaceutical regulatory framework, which would facilitate smoother entry of Indian pharmaceutical products into the Argentine market.
The leaders discussed energy and critical minerals cooperation, with Prime Minister Modi highlighting Argentina's potential as a key partner in meeting India's growing energy needs and clean energy goals.
The Prime Minister underlined India's growing energy and industrial needs and emphasized that Argentina could serve as a reliable partner in supporting India's developmental journey. With the world's second largest shale gas and fourth largest shale oil reserves, along with substantial conventional oil and gas deposits, Argentina holds strong potential to become an important energy partner for India. Argentina's rich reserves of critical minerals, including lithium, copper, and rare earth elements, align with India's need for secure and sustainable resources to drive its clean energy transition and industrial growth.
Both the leaders discussed collaboration under India's International Big Cat Alliance, with Prime Minister Modi inviting Argentina to join efforts in big cat conservation. The leaders discussed India's UPI system, highlighting its role in boosting productivity, formalizing the economy, and enabling targeted benefits. Prime Minister Modi thanked President Milei for Argentina's strong support and solidarity after the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam. During his visit to Buenos Aires, Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi and also honored the legacy of Rabindranath Tagore, reflecting deep cultural ties between India and Argentina. Prime Minister Modi was also presented with a key to the city of Buenos Aires by Mr. Jorge Macri, head of the city government of Buenos Aires, Argentina. This ceremonial honor is in recognition of Prime Minister's contributions in strengthening the India-Argentina ties. With Bureau Inputs, Arun Sharma's report, Doordarshan News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's unwavering commitment to Mahatma Gandhiji's teachings transcends India's borders. Till date, there have been numerous occasions where the Prime Minister has paid tributes to Mahatma Gandhi on the international soil, a testament to his effort to keep Gandhi's legacy alive and relevant on the global stage. So that sums up Prime Minister's visit to Argentina. Presently, the Prime Minister is in Brazil and he will be participating in the 17th BRICS Summit. We'll keep you updated. At present, you're watching DD India News Hour. We're heading for a short break. But after the break, leaders pay tributes to Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee to mark the birth anniversary of the founder of Bharatiya Jan Sangh and revered nationalist leader. Muharram marking the start of the Islamic New Year with prayers and religious gatherings being observed today. Religious prayers and cultural programs at the main temple in the hill town of Dharamshala marked the 90th birthday of the spiritual leader of Tibetan Buddhists, the Dalai Lama.
Embark on a timeless journey. Unravel the mysteries of a grandiose era. A treasure trove of royal and sacred complexes, temples, shrines, pillared halls, mandapas, rock-cut memorials and more. A spectacular setting of rugged landscape and exemplary workmanship, representing the best of Dravidian architecture. Every structure carved out as a unique artistic creation. A heritage landmark that reflects pure magnificence, integrated within its natural environment. An unexplored haven for nature and adventure enthusiasts. An imposing heritage reflected in its street bazaars and annual festivals of music and culture. Come, be mesmerized by the glorious capital of the Vijayanagar Empire.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour. A quick relook at the top stories now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visits Brazil for the 17th BRICS Leaders Summit and state visit on the fourth leg of his five-nation tour of the Global South. Hopes for a productive round of meetings and interactions during this visit. Earlier, Prime Minister Modi held talks with President Javier Milei in Argentina. Highlights India's strength in healthcare and pharmaceuticals, focus on boosting trade and cooperation in critical energy and minerals. Frantic search for missing underway following flash floods in central Texas. Around 50 people, including 15 children, confirmed dead. Weathermen forecast more rain and potentially more flooding. India's Prime Minister expresses condolences. Israel will send negotiators to Qatar on Sunday for Gaza hostage and ceasefire deal. Benjamin Netanyahu agrees despite unacceptable Hamas demands to meet Donald Trump in Washington on Monday. And Elon Musk launches new political party, vows to restore freedom and challenges Trump's Republican Party in the 2026 midterm elections. And in Wimbledon, Novak Djokovic records his 100th win, remaining on course for a record 25th Grand Slam title, while in women's singles, defending champion Barbora Krejcikova knocked out by American 10th seed Emma Navarro. Moving on, Israel will send a delegation to Qatar on Sunday for talks on a possible Gaza hostage and ceasefire deal. Although Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office says that the changes requested by Hamas to a ceasefire proposal were unacceptable. Netanyahu, who will meet US President Donald Trump in Washington on Monday, has repeatedly said that Hamas must be disarmed, a position the terrorist group has so far refused to discuss. On Friday, Hamas said it had responded to a US-backed Gaza ceasefire proposal in a positive spirit, a few days after Trump said that Israel had agreed to the necessary conditions to finalize a 60-day truce. But in a sign of the potential challenges still facing the two sides, a Hamas official said that concerns remain over humanitarian aid, passage through the Rafah crossing in southern Israel to Egypt, and clarity over a timetable for Israeli troop withdrawal. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has made his first public appearance since the start of Iran's conflict with Israel. According to state media, Khamenei was seen greeting worshippers at a mosque ahead of the festival of Ashura. Khamenei's last appearance was in a recorded address during the conflict with Israel, which began on 13th of June and during which top Iranian commanders and nuclear scientists were killed. During the 12-day conflict, Khamenei appeared on television in 3 video messages, and there was speculation that he was hiding in a bunker. On Saturday, Iranian media coverage was dominated by Khamenei's appearance, with footage of supporters expressing joy at seeing him on television. Elon Musk announces to launch a new political party weeks after dramatically falling out with US President Donald Trump. The billionaire announced on his social media platform X that he had set up the America Party, billing it as a challenge to the Republican and Democratic two-party system. However, it is unclear if the party has been formally registered with US election authorities. Musk, who was born outside of the US and is thus ineligible to run for US presidency, has not announced who will lead it. He first raised the prospect of forming a party during his public feud with Trump, which saw him leave his role in the administration and engage in a vicious public spat with his former ally. Police fire tear gas to disperse protesters gathering to voice their opposition to the construction of the A69 freeway in France's Morens-Couport. Hundreds of people turned out for the demonstration, defying a ban by the Tarn prefecture. The A69 freeway project in France has faced significant opposition due to environmental concerns. The project aims to construct a new highway connecting Toulouse and Castres, but it has been met with resistance from environmental groups and local residents. Environmental groups have long called for cancellation of the 53-kilometer project, advocating instead for improved rail services as a more sustainable alternative. Catastrophic flash floods swept through central Texas on Friday, claiming lives of at least 50 people, with many still missing. The disaster was triggered by a sudden deluge that dumped up to 15 inches of rain over the Guadalupe River. Authorities say the actual death toll could be higher as floodwaters ravaged multiple counties. Rescuers are searching for 27 missing girls from a riverside summer camp in the U.S. state of Texas. The weather authorities warned that more rain was forecast and that excessive runoff may result in flooding of the rivers. Multiple flash flood warnings remained in place over the weekend in central Texas. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed deep condolences on the loss of lives in the devastating flash floods in Texas. On his post shared on social media platform X, the Prime Minister said, and I quote him, "Deeply saddened to learn about the loss of lives, especially children, in the devastating floods in Texas. Our condolences to the US government and the bereaved families," and I unquote. Heavy rains have caused the Orinoco River to overflow, flooding the Colombian border region of Vicara. Homes, roads and public services in Puerto Carreno and nearby areas are badly damaged. Around 6,000 people are suffering as emergency efforts speed up. Governor Filberto Guevara announced a 6-month state of calamity to help bring urgent aid and recovery. The worst hit areas are struggling with blocked drainage and health risks as floodwaters continue to spread. France deploys firefighting aircraft and mobilized hundreds of firefighters to battle wildfires in the southern part of the country after blazes erupted near A61 and A9 motorways in the Ordi region. The fires, which have already scorched more than 400 acres of vegetation, are the first major wildfires of the season and come in the wake of a 16-day heat wave that left the region dry and highly vulnerable. Thick smoke and advancing flames forced partial road closures and raised alarms among nearby communities. Southern France has seen an increase in wildfire risk in recent years, with climate change driving more intense and prolonged heat waves. And back home, the monsoon has tightened its grip across parts of India, prompting the Met Department to issue a red alert for Himachal Pradesh and Maharashtra, warning of extremely heavy rainfall. The IMD has also issued an orange alert for several other states, including Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Kutch, Gujarat. Thunak Bazar in Himachal Pradesh's Mandi district has been severely affected by flash floods and a sudden cloudburst. Rescue teams, including the NDRF, have been deployed to carry out relief operations, while authorities remain on high alert as rain continues in parts of the district. IMD has issued a red alert for Himachal Pradesh. India's national capital, New Delhi, on Sunday witnessed rain, offering much needed respite to Delhiites who had been enduring a prolonged spell of humidity. The IMD had issued an orange alert for Delhi, forecasting moderate rainfall over the weekend due to an active monsoon system. Getting you other news now. On July 6th, the nation paid heartfelt tributes to Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee on his 124th birth anniversary. As the visionary founder of the Bharatiya Janasangh, he was known for his fearless voice and unwavering commitment to nationalist ideals. Dr. Mukherjee laid the ideological foundation for a self-reliant and united India. His tireless dedication to national integration and his ultimate sacrifice continue to inspire generations. Leaders from across the political spectrum are commemorating his birth anniversary. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also expressed his homage on X, and I quote him, "A heartfelt tribute to the immortal son of the nation, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, on his birth anniversary. He sacrificed his life to protect the honor, dignity and pride of the country. His ideals and principles are invaluable in the construction of a developed and self-reliant India." A tribute ceremony was held at Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Park in New Delhi to mark the birth anniversary of the founder of Bharatiya Janasangh and revered nationalist leader Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. The solemn event held at Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Park was marked by a collective remembrance of Dr. Mukherjee's legacy as a nationalist leader, thinker and founder of the Bharatiya Janasangh. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav offered floral respects to the statue of Dr. Mukherjee. The event was attended by several prominent figures, including Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta, Delhi BJP President Virendra Sachdeva, New Delhi MP Bansuri Swaraj, senior leaders, public representatives and distinguished citizens. The event further served as an inspiring effort to connect the younger generation with the values of patriotism, sacrifice and public service. Muharram is being observed today, marking the start of the Islamic New Year, one of the holiest times for Muslims. The day commemorates the martyrdom of Imam Hussain, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, who died at the Battle of Karbala in 680 AD. The day is marked with prayers, religious gatherings and mourning processions, honoring the spirit of sacrifice, patience and devotion. Imam Hussein's exemplary life, teachings, fearless fight against injustice and his supreme sacrifice find resonance in every era and continue to inspire generations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended wishes on the solemn occasion of Muharram. Taking to social media X, he said, and I quote him, "The sacrifices made by Hazrat Imam Hussain as emphasize his commitment to righteousness. He inspires people to uphold truth in the face of adversity." The spiritual leader of Tibetan Buddhists, the Dalai Lama, turns 90 after a week-long celebration. The birthday is being celebrated with religious prayers and cultural programs in the main temple in Dharamshala, a town in the Indian state of Himachal Pradesh. The ceremony was attended by thousands of followers from around the world who gathered in the northern Indian hill town of Dharamshala. Also, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju and Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu attended the celebrations of the spiritual leader in Dharamshala. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his birthday greetings to Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama and hailed him as a symbol of love and patience. Praying for his long life, the Prime Minister said that Dalai Lama's message has inspired respect across all faiths. You're watching DD India News Hour. We're heading for a short break. But after the break, the 16th Toy Biz International B2B exhibition is a treat not to be missed. Why? We tell you ahead. India on its way for an emphatic series levelling win in the second test against England. Are Sundays only about lazing around? Think again. We get you a special report on how Delhiites bicycled their way to fitness and good health. Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour. The 16th Toy Biz International B2B exhibition is being held at New Delhi's Bharat Mandapam from 4th to 7th of July, with over 400 Indian brands exhibiting their innovations. Organized every year by the Toy Association of India, the expo has evolved into South Asia's premier B2B trade show for toys and games. A detailed report ahead by Abhishek Mahajan.
Over 350 Indian toy manufacturers have come together under one roof for Toy Biz, showcasing their latest creations from traditional wooden toys to cutting-edge games, all proudly made in India. A large number of foreign buyers are expected to participate in this mega event.
About more than 50 countries, the registration is done for the foreign buyers. Number is more than 125. So this is the first time in the history for toy industry that we have invited more than 50 countries buyer. They are looking the toys and they are surprised that we are displaying a good quality product with the good packaging and competitive price.
This exhibition is a testament to India's growing manufacturing capabilities as country is setting new standards and a wide market.
PM Modi had in October 2020 edition of Man Ki Baat, he has emphasized the role of toys, and in 2014 itself he said to be vocal for local. Nobody understood this at that time, and today we are a good player in international arena.
Backed by Make in India initiative, the Indian toy industry has seen a remarkable transformation in recent years, with exports increasing and imports dropping by nearly 70% since 2014. India's toy industry, once heavily dependent on imports, is now manufacturing domestically and exporting to 153 countries.
Design, packaging and branding, ये तीन विषयों के ऊपर अगर हमने सबने फोकस किया तो मैं समझता हूं कि आगे चल के the world will be our market.
Now hailed as South Asia's premier B2B trade show for toys and games, Toy Biz has become a powerful platform connecting Indian manufacturers with global buyers, promoting not just commerce but culture too.
It's a B2B exhibition, so we are getting along with a lot of customers who wants us to manufacture for them. So like a lot of OEM orders from big brands from all over the world, and we are also getting people who come and who want to take toys to Singapore, Dubai, Hong Kong, and get things manufactured specifically from India.
This is a major shift from the 12th edition of the exhibition held in 2019, wherein of 116 stalls, 90 stalls exhibited only imported toys. Abhishek Mahajan's report, DD India.
And now we turn focus to sports. We'll talk of tennis. Novak Djokovic recorded his 100th win at Wimbledon with a dominant victory over Davis Cup teammate Miomir Kecmanovic to remain on course for a record 25th Grand Slam title. Djokovic reached his landmark by demolishing Kecmanovic for 6-3, 6-0, 6-4. The 38-year-old 100-win tally is only surpassed by 8 times champion Roger Federer, who won 105 times, and Martina Navratilova, who secured 120 victories. He is into the 4th round and will face 11th seed Alex de Minaur. World number 1 Yannick Sinner crushed Pedro Martinez to reach the last 16. Sinner routed Martinez 6-1, 6-3, 6-1. The 23-year-old Italian next plays Bulgarian Grigor Dimitrov. Sinner has lost just 17 games across his first 3 matches at this year's tournament. Defending champion Barbora Krejcikova crashed out of the Wimbledon Championship after losing to Emma Navarro in the 3rd round. Krejcikova was beaten to 6-6, 6-3, 6-4 as she appeared to be struggling with injury. Navarro took advantage to cause the latest upset in the women's tournament following the exits of 5 of the top 6 seeds. Navarro will face 18-year-old Mira Andreeva in the next round. India's Yuki Bhambre and his American partner Robert Galloway moved into the 3rd round of the men's doubles event at the Wimbledon after a convincing win in London on Saturday. The Indo-American tennis pair closed out the match 6-3, 7-6, squaring off against Portugal's Nuno Borges and America's Marcos Giron at the All England Club. Bhambre and Galloway converted a breakpoint in the 8th game of the first set to take the lead. The Indo-American duo then lost serve in the 2nd game of the next set but broke back to seal the match. Bhambre is also in contention in the mixed doubles event. The Indian tennis player, partnering Jiang Zhinu of China, won his opening round match. India is on course for an emphatic series-levelling win in the 2nd test against England as the hosts tumbled to 72 runs for the loss of 3 wickets at the close of day 4 while chasing a huge victory target of 608 runs. After Indian captain Shubman Gill had scored another masterful century at Edgbaston, India fast bowlers Akashdeep and Mohammad Siraj blew away England's top order. England lost Zach Crawley for a duck and Ben Duckett was bowled off an inside edge. India picked up the crucial wicket of Joe Root when Deep broke through his defence. Ollie Pope and Harry Brook were at the crease at stumps, with England needing 536 runs. After his first innings double century, Gill raced 261 runs to amass 430 runs in the match and sits 2nd behind England's Graham Gooch for the most runs by a batter in a single test. Reigning men's javelin throw world champion Neeraj Chopra won the competition named after him in Bengaluru on Saturday. The Indian ace javelin thrower won the inaugural Neeraj Chopra Classic with a throw of 86.18 meters, which came in his 3rd attempt. Kenya's Julius Yego logged 84.51 meters to finish the 2nd. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka's Ramesh Pathiraj completed the top 3 position with a best effort of 84.34 meters. It was the first World Athletics Category A event held in India.
एक बड़ा प्रेशर था कि यार अच्छी परफॉर्म करनी है. मुझे भी ऐसा फील हो रहा था कि आज अच्छी थ्रो लगी, लेकिन हवा ऐसे घूम से रही थी और पर मैं खुश हूँ. इतना सब कुछ होने के बाद मैं 2 कंपटीशन खेल के आया, ट्रैवल किया. मैं खुश हूँ कि पहले एडिशन में ट्रॉफी और मेडल्स अपने घर में है, तो इसका अच्छा लग रहा है.
India's Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia congratulated Neeraj Chopra on his victory. He posted on social media platform X, and I quote him, "Neeraj finishes on top. Our golden boy does it again with a sensational throw of 86.18 meters to claim the top spot at the Neeraj Chopra Classic 2025. Your relentless spirit keeps the tricolour flying high." The Indian football team beats hosts Thailand 2-1 in its 4th and final game of the 2026 Women's Asian Cup qualifiers in Chiang Mai City to seal their berth for next year's tournament. Sangeeta Basfore scored a brace to hand India a memorable win, while Thailand scored through Chachawan Rodong. With both teams locked on 9 points each, the match was a virtual playoff with the winner topping the group and qualifying for the next year tournament in Australia. Earlier, India defeated Mongolia 13-0, Timor-Leste 4-0 and Iraq 5-0 in their first 3 matches of the qualifiers campaign. Continuing the momentum of Sundays on cycle, fitness enthusiasts once again gathered in New Delhi this Sunday. The event was organized by Sports Ministry in partnership with Residents Welfare Association of India of Delhi NCR. Abhishek Mahajan gets us this report.
Delhi's Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium turned into a cycling hub as hundreds gathered for the latest edition of Fit India Sundays on Cycle. The initiative, launched under the Fit India movement, aims to encourage people of all ages to adopt cycling as part of their routine.
फिट इंडिया संडे और साइकिल के साथ जुड़ के काफ़ी अच्छा लग रहा है हमें, क्योंकि अगर हम फिट होंगे तभी हमारी मेंटल स्ट्रेंथ काम करेगी। तो यही है कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा फिट रहो और स्वस्थ रहेंगे तो तभी हम अपने ज़िंदगी के जो और काम कर पाएंगे।
From school children to senior citizens, all united by the goal of staying fit. The event also featured Zumba sessions, yoga corners and fun fitness games, making it a holistic wellness experience.
यहाँ पे बहुत ही अच्छा माहौल बना रखा है। फिट इंडिया हमारी सरकार की तरफ से यहाँ पे रस्सी हो रही है, योगा हो रहा है और भी बहुत सारे इवेंट्स हो रहे हैं। साइकिलिंग मैंने खुद करी थी, बहुत ही मज़ा आया और मैं ये चाहती हूँ कि हमारे देश में सब फिट इंडिया और इसकी तरफ जाएं।
Since its launch, the Fit India Sundays on Cycle campaign has reached thousands across India, promoting health, reducing carbon footprint and turning Sunday mornings into a celebration of movement and togetherness.
Whether it's a pedal towards fitness or push for a cleaner air, Delhi Cycling Sundays are definitely gaining momentum and wheels of change are definitely in motion. With cameraman Uttam, this is Abhishek Mahajan in Delhi for DD India.
With that, we end this edition of DD India News Hour. Bart, let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Hour.